India is one of the fastest growing automobile markets in the world, and also one of the largest consumers of petroleum. To cut down dependency on crude oil imports and reduce carbon emissions, the Indian government has set an ambitious target of blending 20% ethanol with petrol, E20, by 2025. At first glance, this move seems like a win-win solution. Farmers get a market for surplus sugarcane and grain, the country saves on costly oil imports, and the environment benefits from reduced carbon emissions. But when you scratch beneath the surface, things get complicated. Ethanol is not the same as petrol. It behaves differently inside an engine, affects mileage, and interacts with vehicle parts in ways that can cause damage if the engine is not designed for it. Let's break down why E20 is not completely safe for existing vehicles, what problems it poses, and what advantages it still carries. E20 refers to a blend of 20% ethanol and 80% petrol. Ethanol is an alcohol produced mainly from sugarcane, corn, or damaged food grains through fermentation. Countries like Brazil and the USA have been using high ethanol blends for decades because they produce a lot of corn and sugarcane. In India, ethanol is mostly made from sugarcane molasses, surplus grains, and sometimes damaged food stock. Petrol pumps already sell E10, 10% ethanol blend, in most states. The government wants to move to E20 as part of its green fuel policy. One of the biggest disadvantages of ethanol blending is lower fuel efficiency. Ethanol has a lower energy density than petrol. This means ethanol produces less energy per liter than petrol. When 20% ethanol is blended with petrol, the overall energy content of the fuel decreases by around 6–7%. Most vehicles on Indian roads, cars, bikes, scooters, were designed for petrol or at most E10 fuel. They are not equipped to handle E20 safely. Ethanol is a corrosive alcohol. When blended in higher concentrations, it can cause corrosion of metal parts. Engine valves, piston rings, fuel injectors, and carburetor parts can rust faster. Damage to rubber and plastic. Ethanol reacts with rubber hoses, seals, and gaskets, leading to cracks and fuel leaks. Deposits inside the engine. Ethanol attracts moisture from the air, and this water can mix with fuel, forming deposits and causing rust in the fuel tank. If older vehicles run regularly on E20, their engines may wear out faster, requiring costly maintenance or even engine replacement. Ethanol has a higher octane rating, but requires different tuning for efficient combustion. Cars and bikes not calibrated for E20 may face cold starting problems, hard to start in winter or early mornings, rough idling, engine vibrations at low speed, reduced acceleration power. This can make the driving experience less smooth and even unsafe in certain conditions. Manufacturers like Maruti Suzuki, Hyundai, Honda, and Bajaj have cautioned that using fuel beyond recommended ethanol levels may void the warranty. If an engine fails due to ethanol damage, consumers could be left with a hefty repair bill. Additionally, insurance companies may refuse claims if the damage is linked to using non-recommended fuel. Despite these risks, the government strongly promotes E20 fuel. The reasons lie in broader economic, environmental, and social benefit. India imports nearly 85% of its crude oil. This drains foreign exchange and makes fuel prices vulnerable to global shocks. By blending ethanol, India can save billions of dollars. A 20% blend could reduce petrol consumption by 6–7 million tons annually, saving nearly Rs 35,000 crore in foreign exchange. Ethanol is produced from crops like sugarcane and grains. With E20, demand for these raw materials will rise, giving farmers additional income sources. Surplus sugar and grain stocks can be diverted to ethanol instead of being wasted. Distilleries and biofuel plants create rural jobs, supporting the local economy. Ethanol burns cleaner than petrol. It reduces emissions of carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, and particulate matter. Greenhouse gas emissions can drop by 15–20% with E20. Urban air quality could improve, reducing health risks from vehicular pollution. The benefits are significant, but the transition is not easy. Vehicle compatibility. Existing vehicles may not survive long on E20. A complete fleet shift takes time. Infrastructure costs. Ethanol blending requires specialized storage, transport, and fuel stations. Ethanol is hygroscopic, absorbs water, so pipelines and tanks need upgrades. Food versus fuel debate. Large-scale ethanol production can divert crops from food to fuel, raising food security concerns. E20 blending is a bold move with both risks and rewards. For consumers, the immediate problems are lower mileage, engine wear, and higher maintenance costs if vehicles are not designed for E20. For the country, however, the advantages Lower oil imports, cleaner air, farmer support, and energy security are too big to ignore. The real challenge lies in balancing these two sides. Until all vehicles are redesigned for ethanol compatibility, running E20 in older engines will remain unsafe. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.